Dang. So it happened again. You're reaching up in your cabinet, going to get a coffee cup, putting the dishes up, feel a tweak in your shoulder. Or conversely, you're going down to tie your shoe. Ooh, you felt that sharp pull, right? So this has probably happened to all of us. I know it's happened to me a lot. Our first thought is, oh wow, I pulled a muscle. Like, it doesn't feel good. What should I do? A lot of times our first reaction is, hey, we should stretch it. Like, ooh, I pulled my back muscle. Let me stretch my hip. Let me stretch my back. Or I was reaching overhead, getting my coffee cup, because you know we gotta have coffee. Getting our coffee cup, ooh, I felt a tweak in my shoulder, in the back of my shoulder. Let me stretch it, right? Let me stretch it, help it feel better. It'll get me back to doing everything I like to do quickly. Not so fast, okay? So this is our gut reaction. Pull the muscle, let's stretch it. Let me tell you what we should do conversely, okay? Not so fast, right? So let's not stretch that muscle that you just recently pulled, okay? So it is your first reaction, your gut reaction. Let's stretch it out. Let's get it loose so I can do these things I need to do. I can play with my kids, put the dishes away, right? So things we gotta do, but not so fast. Let's not stretch it. Here's a more effective alternative to an acutely pulled muscle, which means a new injury that you haven't had in the past, okay? So we've all had these. This is what you should be doing instead of stretching that muscle that you just heard. The first step is low intensity, moderate duration aerobics, okay? So this doesn't mean step aerobics, like you're doing the step ups, you know, back in the 80s. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is low intensity, moderate duration aerobic exercise, not aerobics, okay? So a good example of this would be if you pulled your back, what I would do is get on an air bike, get on a stationary bike, and just ride at about 60% of your heart rate max for between 20 and 30 minutes that day. The reason I say moderate duration is if you do it around 20 or 30 minutes, it allows your blood to pump through your body. It allows your lymphatic system to stimulate and therefore flush out the inflammation that is around that area where you just recently hurt yourself, okay? So if you pulled your back, let's hop on a bike. If you pulled your muscle, let's go on a walk. If you pulled a muscle in your shoulder, let's just go on a walk, right? Because low intensity, moderate duration is gonna get your body moving in a pain-free range, okay? So once you finish that, let's smash it. What that means is smash is myofascial release of the muscle and the fascia around that area. What you're gonna do is grab a lacrosse ball, grab a foam roller, and roll out the areas around that new injury. So if you pulled a muscle in the back of your shoulder, grab a foam roller, roll out your lats, roll out the outside of your deltoid, roll out your upper trap. What this is gonna do is allow your body not to overcompensate and tighten down, because a lot of times, especially if you pull a muscle in your shoulder, look in the mirror, you're standing like this, right? So let's smash out these muscles, release these muscles, and allow the body to heal itself, okay? So the third step is pain-free isometrics. When I say pain-free, I mean after a few seconds. So for example, if I tweak the back of my shoulder, what I'm gonna do is come up to a wall, gently rotation into an object. Okay, so I'm gonna hold that for 10 seconds. What's gonna happen is the first 3 or 4 seconds, it's gonna be tender where I hurt that muscle, but after that, the nervous system shuts off a little bit. We're desensitizing that nerve to allow the pain and inflammation to seep out from that area, okay? So pain-free isometrics. Then step 4 is re-implementation, okay? So this happens between 7 and 10 days, right? So if you hurt yourself, it's not gonna be an overnight fix, right? It's gonna take a little bit of time to get back to doing these things you like to do. Ideally between 7 and 10 days, okay? So this recently happened to me. I tweaked my back, went through this effective program. In 10 days, I was back to deadlifting 400 pounds, okay? So this is the strategy and process that I want you to go through, okay? So next time that you pull a muscle when you're reaching for that coffee that we love so dearly, remember, don't stretch it. First, low intensity, moderate duration aerobic exercise, go for a walk, 30 minutes. Step 2, smash the muscles around that area to allow the body to just calm down and not overcompensate. Step 3, pain-free isometrics. Let's knock out 3 sets of about 10 reps. Hold each rep 10 seconds throughout the day. Step 4, re-implement in 7 to 10 days. Try this, guys.